People of God, pauses. Listen to me. You don't need to announce your dream to the world. You need to manifest it. You don't need to explain your vision to every man and woman. You need to live it out until it speaks for itself. Because I have learned something, when you speak too soon, you invite voices that were never meant to understand your journey. Can somebody say amen? Crowd murmurs, amen. There is a season to speak, and there is a season to build. There is a season to plan, and there is a season to prove. When Joseph shared his dream, the Bible says his brothers hated him the more. Why? Because not everyone has the capacity to celebrate your dream. Some will misunderstand it. Some will envy it, and some will even fight it. That is why I say to you today, don't tell people your dreams. Show them the results. When God plants a vision in your heart, it is like a seed. You don't expose a seed to every eye. You bury it in the soil, in the dark. The soil looks like death, but it's actually protection. When people cannot see what God is doing in your life, it doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means something is happening underground. Look at your neighbor and say, my dream is not dead, it's just underground. As crowd repeats, my dream is not dead, it's just underground. Yes! Because the seed must die before it lives. It must go through loneliness before fruitfulness. Some of you are in that hidden season. Nobody believes in you. Nobody calls your name. Nobody sees your effort. But listen, this is the season of becoming. This is the season where God prepares the vessel before he displays the glory. So stop explaining yourself to people who were not sent to understand you. Stop seeking validation from those who do not carry your vision. When God gives you a dream, it is not a conference call. A crowd erupts in laughter and clapping. Hey, yes! It is between you and God. When you tell people your dream too early, you risk losing it to doubt, to criticism, to jealousy. Some people will not only doubt your dream, they will drain your faith. And faith is like oxygen to your destiny. Without faith, your dream suffocates. Let me tell you something, child of God. Silence is power. There is a time to speak and a time to keep quiet. Jesus, when he was performing miracles, would often say, tell no one. Why? Because some things must mature in silence before they can survive in public. When your vision is still tender, guard it. When your dream is still growing, protect it. You cannot share a spiritual pregnancy with every passerby. Some people will only mock the pain of your labor. I remember in life, people often misunderstand the process. They see you struggling and they laugh. They see you praying and they mock. They see you walking alone and they say, he has failed. But what they don't know is that God is writing your testimony in private so that it will shine in public. When the results come, you will not need to argue. You will not need to defend yourself. You will not need to prove anything. The results will speak. Let your life speak louder than your words. Let your fruits speak louder than your promises. People of God, don't waste your time trying to convince those who have already decided not to believe in you. The results will convince them. Look at the palm tree. When the storm comes, it bends, but it does not break. Why? Because its roots are deep. In the same way, when your roots are in God, you can face storms, criticism, delay, betrayal, but you will not break. The dream may tarry, but it will speak. The vision may delay, but it will not lie. I want to tell you something today. Results are louder than reputation. You may not have a name now, but God is giving you a testimony that will introduce you better than any title ever could. You see, many of us are quick to talk. We want to tell everyone what we are about to do. I will start this business. I will build that house. I will write that book. But listen, your words can invite warfare. Every time you speak, you release energy. And not every ear that hears your dream will wish you well. Some ears will turn your vision into gossip. Some hearts will turn your dream into competition. That is why you must learn the divine art of quiet progress. Move in silence. Work when no one is watching. Build when no one is clapping. And when the time comes, when the foundation is strong, when the structure is ready, let the results appear like a sunrise that no one can stop. People of God, many dream, but few build. Many talk, but few act. The world is full of dreamers who never started and starters who never finished. But you will be different. You will not just dream, you will deliver. Because a dream without discipline is deception. Pauses, looks around. I said, a dream without discipline is deception. You cannot dream of greatness and sleep all day. You cannot dream of success and avoid sacrifice. You cannot dream of impact and run from responsibility. The evidence of your dream is in your action. Faith without works is dead. Vision without effort is vanity. You must work, not with human strength, but with divine purpose. When people doubt you, don't argue. Let your consistency silence them. When people laugh at you, don't fight. Let your results humble them. When people forget you, don't complain. Let your success remind them. Let them talk. You just keep building. No one believed Noah until the rain came. No one believed Joseph until the dream spoke from the palace. The same people who laughed at you will one day say, "We always knew you would make it." But by then, you won't need their approval because God Himself will have validated you. My brothers and sisters, success is not announced, it is revealed. When God begins to lift you, people will see it. They will see the evidence, they will see the results, and those results will speak more than 10,000 words. So stop broadcasting your process, Start building your proof. Stop narrating your intention. Start manifesting your outcome. Don't tell people your dreams. Show them the results. Because results are the language of destiny. Results are the proof of faith. Results are the testimony of obedience. Maybe you are here today and you have shared your dream with people who mocked you. Maybe they betrayed your trust. Maybe they made you doubt yourself. But let me tell you, your mistake does not cancel your destiny. Your delay is not your denial. If you will go back to God today and say, Lord, breathe again on my dream, He will restore the vision. Because God does not waste purpose. He does not waste pain. Sometimes He hides your dream until the right time, because premature exposure kills destiny. A mango plucked before its time is sour. A dream revealed before maturity brings trouble. Wait for the right time, because when it's God's time, no one can stop it. When you walk with God, silence becomes your weapon. People will think you are finished, but you are only in preparation. They will think you are forgotten, but heaven is writing your next chapter. And when God finally reveals what He has been doing in your life, it will be too late for your enemies to stop it. They will watch and wonder, how did this happen? You will say, this is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. People of God, the results that speak loudest are not the cars, the houses, the clothes. Those are temporary. The greatest results are peace, purpose, and power. The result of character, the result of transformation, the result of touching lives. You can't fake fruit. You can pretend for a while, but results reveal the truth. The presence of God in your life produces results that no human effort can manufacture. Joy in trial, faith in hardship, patience in waiting, love in betrayal. These are results that last. So, I ask you, what results are you showing? If your dream is from God, then your life should reflect His hand. When people look at you, they should see progress. They should see perseverance. They should see peace. Even when things are tough, they should see strength in your storm. Because results are not just success, they are transformation. People of God, let me tell you something very deep. The loudest sermon is not the one you preach with your mouth, but the one you preach with your life. Your life is a message. Your results are your evidence. Stop explaining your faith, live. Stop defending your purpose, fulfill it. Stop telling people what you will do. Let them see it done. There is a time when silence becomes your announcement, when the world will see what God has been doing in your life, and they will have no choice but to say, surely God is with this one. Let me speak to somebody here. You have been waiting, you have been working, and you feel tired. You say, Lord, when will my results come? Don't give up. The result season is coming. Those who mocked you will soon see the manifestation. Those who ignored you will soon ask for your help. God is preparing a table for you. But He is not in a hurry, because what He is preparing will last. Temporary success comes fast, but lasting success is built slowly. When God builds, He builds to endure. Hear me, people of God, you must stop announcing your next move. Move in silence, pray in secret, work in private, because the reward of the secret place is public power. The Bible says, your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you openly. That is the principle. Private faith, public result, hidden seed, visible fruit. Don't tell people your dream. Show them the fruit of your faith. Let me give you a word of wisdom before I close. Every dream has 3 stages: conception, construction, and completion. At conception, speak only to God. At construction, speak less, work more. At completion, speak through results. Too many talkers die in the construction stage. You see, even Jesus was hidden for 30 years before 3 years of ministry. God kept him in silence until the time was right. If Jesus, the Son of God, waited, who are you not to wait? Your waiting season is not wasted. It is God's classroom. So, my brothers and sisters, when you walk out of this place today, walk out with wisdom. Don't broadcast your dream. Build it. Don't argue with doubters. Outgrow them. Don't seek applause. Seek alignment with God. Because when your results come, they will speak so loud that even your enemies will become your announcers. Let your results glorify God. Let your success reflect grace. Let your life preach louder than your lips. When people see your fruit, they will know your root is in God. And remember, when your dream finally manifests, stay humble. Because the same God who lifted you can lift another. The dream is not for pride, it is for purpose. The result is not for competition, it is for testimony. So use your success to serve. Use your story to inspire. Use your platform to glorify God. So pauses, raise his hand toward the audience. Listen to me, child of God. From today, your results will speak. From today, your dreams will live again. From today, the same people who doubted you will witness your rise. Heaven will back your effort. Grace will multiply your little. And when the results come, you will not boast. You will testify, because you will know it was not by power, not by might, but by the Spirit of the Lord. So I say it again, and let it echo in your spirit. Don't tell people your dreams. Show them the results. Your results will speak. Your life will preach. Your destiny will shine. And when people ask, how did it happen? You will smile and say, it was God. Crowd erupts in applause. Music rises softly. The atmosphere is filled with faith, silence, and awe. Amen. People of God, listen carefully. There is a mystery I want to share with you today, a principle that governs the rise of every man and woman whom God has ever lifted. It is the principle of private faith. Faith that is not shouted, but shown. Faith that is not displayed, but demonstrated. Faith that does not seek attention, but seeks alignment. Private faith creates public evidence. What do I mean by this? I mean that what God does through you in public is always born out of what He builds within you in private. Before every miracle you see, there is a secret place. Before every success you admire, there is a hidden altar. Before every testimony you celebrate, there is a private relationship with God. Private faith, that quiet trust, that unseen obedience, that invisible persistence is what produces the evidence that the world cannot deny. You see, many people want public results without private roots. They want the evidence without the endurance, the glory without the growth, the manifestation without the meditation. But God does not work like that. He begins His greatest works in secret. When He formed Adam, it was in the dust where no one could see. When He prepared Joseph, it was in the prison where no one believed in him. When He trained David, it was in the wilderness where no one noticed him. When He anointed Jesus, it was at the Jordan long before the crowd came. God's pattern never changes. He works in the dark before He reveals in the light. So if your faith is real, it must first be proven in the private. Faith is not measured by what you do when people are watching. It is measured by what you do when no one sees you. When you close the door, when you kneel to pray, when you choose integrity over convenience, when you forgive in silence, when you wait patiently without complaining, that is faith. The Bible says, "Your Father who sees in secret will reward you openly." The reward is public, but the requirement is private. The evidence is visible, but the exercise is invisible. Private faith creates public evidence. That is why the strongest believers are not always the loudest. They may not talk much, but they walk deeply with God. They may not make noise, but their lives speak volumes. They do not advertise their prayer life. They live from it. They do not announce their sacrifices. They breathe from them. Their strength is silent, their faith is steady, and their results are undeniable. I want you to understand something today. The invisible world governs the visible. Before anything happens on earth, it has already happened in the spirit. Before the evidence appears, faith has already spoken. So, when you see a man or woman succeeding, you are only seeing the harvest of seeds they sowed in private. Every public victory is a private process revealed. The reason some people do not see evidence is because they lack that hidden foundation. They want the reward without the relationship. But until you build faith in the private place, the place of prayer, the place of trust, the place of obedience, your evidence will remain a dream and not a reality. Listen, people of God, private faith is not glamorous. It is not always exciting. It is built in tears, in waiting, in silence. It is when God is quiet, yet you still believe. It is when nothing moves, yet you refuse to doubt. It is when everything says, give up, and you still say, I trust you, Lord. That is faith. Real faith is not shouting, I believe. Real faith is walking forward, even when your eyes cannot see the path. Faith is not a performance, it is persistence. Faith is not an emotion, it is endurance. Faith is not loudness, it is loyalty. That is why God tests faith in private, because there you cannot fake it. You can pretend in public, but you cannot pretend in the presence of God. When you are in your secret place, you are stripped of titles, fame, and applause. You are alone with your Creator, and that is where your real faith is revealed. The kind of faith that moves heaven is not the one that makes noise before men, but the one that stands silently before God and says, even if you slay me, yet will I trust you. Private faith creates public evidence. Look at Daniel. His public victory in the lion's den was born from his private habit of prayer. Look at Esther. Her public favor before the king was born from her private fasting. Look at Elijah. His public fire on Mount Carmel was born from his private time on Mount Horeb. No evidence without encounter. No glory without growth. No testimony without trust. You cannot deceive God with words. He searches the heart. He sees when your lips say faith, but your mind says fear. Oh, he knows when you pray for a miracle, but refuse to obey his instructions. That is why faith must be practiced in the hidden corners of your heart before it can produce fruit in the open. And let me tell you something, private faith is not easy. It will cost you your pride, your comfort, your control. It will make you walk through seasons of silence where heaven seems far. It will teach you to depend not on your feelings, but on his faithfulness. When you pray and there is no answer, faith keeps you kneeling. When you sow and there is no harvest, faith keeps you giving. When you believe and nothing changes, faith keeps you believing still. That is the kind of faith that creates results. You see, the public is attracted to the result, but God is attracted to the process. He wants your heart before he gives you your harvest. If you are faithful in the secret, he can trust you with the visible. Because when you have built faith in silence, success will not corrupt you. You will not boast, "It was my strength." You will know it was his grace, and that humility is the evidence of real faith. There are two kinds of believers: those who seek applause and those who seek alignment. Those who seek applause talk about what they will do. Those who seek alignment do it quietly and let the results speak. Faith is not a speech. It is a lifestyle. If your faith is real, you don't need to broadcast it. Your life will display it. You don't need to announce that you are praying. People will see the peace in your eyes. You don't need to tell everyone you are believing. They will see the fruit of your endurance. Faith is like perfume. You don't have to hold it up. Its fragrance will reveal itself. Private faith creates public evidence. The world is full of noise. People talking about what they will do, what they plan, what they expect. But few people are actually walking by faith. Real faith works in silence. It doesn't need attention. It needs action. Every time you pray, you are investing in your future. Every time you obey God in small things, you are building a foundation for big things. The reward may not come today, but it will come. And when it does, it will speak so loudly that no one will be able to deny it. When God rewards private faith, He does it in a way that even your enemies become your witnesses. Because He wants the world to know, this one trusted me when nobody saw. This one believed me when nobody clapped. Faith that is only visible is often weak, but faith that is invisible is powerful. It's easy to trust when the outcome is clear, but faith begins where logic ends. When God asks you to step out without a plan, without evidence, without assurance, that is the test of private faith. When you do it anyway, when you obey anyway, when you love anyway, heaven takes notice. And in due season, the evidence will appear. Maybe you have been walking in faith and nothing seems to change. You pray, you believe, you obey. But the results are slow. Do not be discouraged. Seeds planted in faith take time to grow. God is not ignoring you, He is preparing you. Every delay is a design. Every silence is a setup. Every hidden season is holy. Because faith is not about getting something from God. It's about becoming something for God. When your faith matures in private, your character becomes the soil for your blessing. So when the evidence finally appears, it will last because it has roots. Public evidence is not just success, it is transformation. When God works in your private life, He is shaping your heart. When He displays you publicly, He is revealing His glory through you. That is why He hides you first. That is why He delays you sometimes, because He wants your results to carry His signature, not your pride. Many people rush to show the world what they are doing, but when the storm comes, they fall because they have no root. But those who waited on God, who built their faith in silence, they may rise slowly, but they rise strong. And when the wind blows, they stand firm. Listen, you cannot have public evidence without private faith, and you cannot have private faith without private time. You must have a secret place where you meet God daily, where you draw strength, where you receive instruction. That is where faith is born. Not in the crowd, but in the quiet. When no one sees you crying, but you still trust. When no one knows your pain, but you still praise. When no one understands your path, but you still walk it faithfully. That is the evidence of real faith. And when God sees that, He will reward you openly. He will show the world what He saw in secret. Some people think faith is shouting, "I believe," in church. No. Faith is living "I believe" on Monday when the bills are due. Faith is not about impressing men. It's about trusting God. When you build faith privately, your confidence becomes unshakable. You are no longer moved by opinion, no longer controlled by fear, because you know something others don't. You know the one who called you is faithful. You may not see the evidence yet, but you know it's coming because His promise cannot fail. Private faith creates public evidence. People of God, let me tell you something powerful. If you make God your audience in secret, He will make the world your witness in public. When you live to please Him, not people, when your goal is obedience, not applause, He will showcase you in His time. Because God does not forget. He saw your tears when no one cared. He heard your prayer when no one listened. He recorded your faith when no one believed. And He will repay you with evidence that cannot be denied. There are levels of evidence. Some evidence convinces men. Some evidence silences critics. But divine evidence glorifies God. When your life becomes that kind of evidence, you will not even need to defend yourself. The results will do it for you. That business that everyone mocked will suddenly flourish. That child you prayed for will suddenly succeed. That dream that everyone said was dead will suddenly come alive. And you will remember, it all began in private. Faith that no one saw, prayers that no one heard, obedience that no one clapped for. That is what created the evidence everyone can now see. Private faith creates public evidence. I have pauses, looks across the hall. If only you knew how powerful your secret place is, you would never neglect it again. It is the womb of your destiny, the workshop of your results. Every time you bow your head, every time you believe in silence, every time you obey without applause, heaven moves. And though the world may not see it today, the evidence is forming. Because faith that is private today will one day become evidence that is undeniable tomorrow. Private faith creates public evidence. Listen, silence is not emptiness. Silence is strength under control. In a world that is loud, noisy, full of opinions and performances, silence has become a rare treasure. But remember this, true power rarely announces itself. True greatness moves quietly, steadily, purposefully, until its results speak louder than any introduction ever could. Move in silence, let success make the noise. What does that mean? It means that your greatest work should happen behind closed doors. It means that the noise of your effort is not for the crowd. It is for your calling. It means that when others are showing, you are growing. When others are talking, you are working. When others are chasing attention, you are chasing mastery. Because success is not born from attention. It is born from discipline, consistency, and patience. The things that happen when nobody is watching. Every dream begins in silence. Every creation begins in stillness. Think about it. Before the first sunrise, there was silence. Before the first heartbeat, there was stillness. The greatest forces of life don't scream. They move quietly yet powerfully. Look at nature. The seed that will become a tree is buried underground. No one sees it growing. No one claps for it. No one writes about it. But one day, it breaks through the soil, and suddenly everyone notices. That's how real success happens. The noise comes after the growth, not before. But most people want to announce every idea before they even start. They want validation before commitment, applause before effort, reward before proof. They forget that every time you speak too soon, you spend energy that could have built something real. Your words can become the release valve for your motivation. Every time you tell everyone what you're going to do, you give away a piece of the hunger that would have fueled you. So move quietly, work while they sleep, plan while they gossip, build while they doubt. Let your results walk into the room before your name does. Silence is not weakness, it's wisdom. Because when you are silent, you can hear the truth. You can hear your intuition. You can hear the whisper of guidance that noise would have drowned out. Every successful person has mastered the art of being underestimated. They are not loud, they are focused. They are not seen everywhere, they are present where it matters. They do not need to prove, they need to perform. Success doesn't need marketing. When the value is real, you don't have to shout about what you are building when it carries substance. People can sense authenticity, and authenticity is quiet confidence, not loud insecurity. You see, the loudest people are often the least secure. They announce their every move because they need approval to keep moving. But approval is a fragile fuel. It burns out quickly. Real success is self-fueled. It is driven by vision, not validation. When you move in silence, you remove the distractions that come from the outside world. You are no longer living to impress. You are living to progress. The world today loves exposure. People share everything, their plans, their goals, their next move. But when you expose the process too soon, you invite interference. You invite opinions, jealousy, criticism, and comparison. Sometimes the reason your dream feels weak is because too many people have touched it with their words. Keep it to yourself. Protect it. Guard it. Because the more private your process, the more powerful your results. Moving in silence is not hiding, it's preparing. The silence is not emptiness, it's incubation. Every masterpiece is first made in a quiet studio. Every athlete trains long before the spotlight. Every writer bleeds onto the page before the applause. Success is made of moments that no one sees, moments of doubt, fatigue, and faith. You build yourself when no one is watching. You earn your strength when no one is clapping. When you understand that, you stop needing to prove and start needing to improve. There's a kind of peace that comes when you don't have to tell anyone what you're doing. You wake up, you focus, you execute. No noise, no explanation, just discipline. Because the people who talk less often do more. Their silence is not because they have nothing to say. It's because they have too much to build. When you are working on something meaningful, you don't have time to broadcast every step. You don't need the world to see the process, they'll see the product. Let your work be your marketing. Let your consistency be your announcement. Remember, lions don't roar while hunting. They move quietly. They stalk with precision. The roar comes after the victory, not before. So why are you roaring before you have the result? Why are you seeking applause before achievement? Roar when you've earned it. And when you do, your success will echo longer than any words could. The world is full of noise. People talking about what they'll do, arguing about what they deserve, pretending to have what they don't. But the world listens when results speak. The currency of respect is results. And results don't come from talking, they come from doing. Silence also teaches you patience. When you move quietly, you accept that growth takes time. You stop comparing your pace to others. You stop racing to be seen. You understand that the oak tree doesn't envy the flower. It just keeps growing until its time comes. So, when your results are not visible yet, don't panic. The work you're doing in private is building roots. And roots are always invisible. The stronger the roots, the greater the fruit. But roots don't make noise, they go deep in silence. That's why when storms come, the quiet ones remain standing. They don't shake because their strength isn't shallow. It was built quietly, deeply, patiently. There will be seasons where you feel like no one sees your effort. You'll wonder if it's worth it. That's when you must remember silence is part of the process. The world ignores builders until the building is finished. Then they ask, how did you do it? But while they were talking, you were working. While they were seeking attention, you were seeking excellence. That's how quiet success is born. From focus, not fame. Moving in silence also protects your energy. Every conversation you have about your plans drains a little of your focus. Every time you justify your path to people who don't understand it, you lose momentum. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't owe anyone a roadmap. The only thing you owe the world is results. And when your results arrive, they'll explain everything for you because success speaks fluently in every language, to every critic, across every barrier, In silence, you also discover who you really are. Without the noise of opinions, you can hear your own thoughts again. You can realign with your purpose. You can rediscover your why. You realize that success is not about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. You begin to understand that your dream doesn't need permission. It just needs progress. And progress is made one quiet step at a time. Every empire was built silently before the world noticed. Every great revolution began in a whisper. Every legend started with an idea that no one else believed in. You don't need the world to understand what you're building. You just need to believe in it enough to stay consistent. Don't worry about who sees you. When your time comes, they won't be able to ignore you. The same people who doubted you will tell others how they once knew you. Let them talk. You keep working. When you move in silence, you master humility. You no longer seek attention, you seek alignment. You no longer chase fame, you chase purpose. And when success comes, you'll handle it with grace. Because you earned it quietly. You won't need to brag. Your story will already be shouting for you. True success doesn't scream, it glows. It's felt, not forced. It's seen in your peace, not your posts. It's revealed in your consistency, not your captions. Noise is temporary. Results are permanent. The noise of attention fades. The sound of impact lasts forever. Don't waste energy on showing off what isn't ready. Build it until it's undeniable. There's power in being the underdog, in being underestimated, in being unseen. Because while they doubt you, you're gaining ground. While they sleep on you, you're writing your future. And when the curtain finally rises, the applause will be louder because no one saw it coming. Moving in silence also gives you freedom, the freedom to fail privately, to experiment, to grow. When no one's watching, you can make mistakes without pressure. You can learn faster. You can recover quietly. Public failure can be brutal, but private failure is a teacher. Every great success story is full of private corrections that shaped public perfection. So cherish your hidden season. It's not punishment, it's preparation. There's a quote that says, "Work hard in silence. Let your success be your noise." But I'll add this. Let your silence also be your peace. Let it be your focus, your fortress, your edge. When you stop broadcasting, you start building. When you stop proving, you start improving. And when you finally step out, you won't need to introduce yourself. Your work will do it for you. Every champion was once silent. Every inventor, every artist, every leader, they all had a period of obscurity. That time when no one clapped, no one believed, no one cared. But they kept going. That silence made them strong. It removed distractions. It made them self-reliant. So if you're in that season now, if no one sees what you're doing, If no one celebrates your progress, don't worry. You're in the sacred part of the journey. You're building in private so you can shine in public. Success has its own sound. It doesn't need your help. When it comes, it will make noise for you. You won't have to post it. People will share it. You won't have to announce it. It will announce itself. Because when you do things right in silence, your results carry a certain power. A power that demands attention, not asks for it. That's why you must protect your energy now. Stay low, stay focused, stay silent. Because when your time comes, the spotlight will be too bright to hide. The beauty of moving in silence is that your growth becomes real. It's not dependent on how people see you. It's dependent on how much you're becoming. And that kind of growth is unstoppable. When your roots are deep, you can handle any season. You can face rejection, setbacks, loneliness, and still keep building. You're not moved by noise anymore because you've learned something deeper. Silence is not the absence of sound. It's the presence of strength. Move in silence. Plan in silence. Work in silence. Grow in silence. Let your success make the noise. Let your results speak. Let your transformation be your announcement. When the world finally hears it, they'll realize the truth. You were never quiet because you had nothing to say. You were quiet because you were becoming something worth listening to.